All right, so hi everybody, and welcome and thanks for joining us today for our Issuu Story Cloud webinar. My name's Craig. I'm on the customer success team with Issuu, and I'm joined today by Megan Cole. So just a little bit about me quickly. I'm a part of the customer success team here at Issuu. My role here is to ensure all publishers achieve the desired outcome when using the Issuu platform, and then all the features included with it. So this is everything from consulting you on your digital content strategy to webinars like today, and being available as a resource for any sort of troubleshooting that may come up. My colleague Megan is a member of our marketing team here at Issuu and is an expert at our new article and visual stories product. That's what you're seeing on your screen right now. And then so she'll be focusing on that for the webinar today. So Megan, if you want to just hop on and introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, thank you, Craig. So as Craig said, my name's Megan and I am a product marketing coordinator over at Issuu. So I primarily work on stories, which include visual stories as well as article stories. So here we can see our visual stories experience on our Instagram channel. I can show you a couple more as they run through. So our visual stories are also able to then link out to article stories from your publications, which have the HTML5 optimized mobile reader view. So all of this is being streamed from my mobile device onto my desktop, which is then being streamed to everyone in this call. So here you can see what article stories look like and comparatively the styles that we have for visual stories. So today we'll be going over just a combination of creating visual stories, creating article stories, as well as some of our best practices for both. We'll also be going over creating visual stories using our InDesign extension tool. And yeah.
Awesome. So just so everyone's aware, the webinar is being recorded and a copy will be sent out to everyone who registered. So if you or a colleague of yours is not able to attend today or just wants to revisit anything that we do cover, we will be sending out just a copy of the webinar to everyone sometime next week. And then also if you do have any questions at any time during the webinar, feel free to submit those questions. You might have to the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. We may be able to answer them in real time, but at the end we'll also just be doing a quick Q&A to answer any questions that maybe weren't covered. So just to kind of reiterate what Megan went over, just an overview of the topics for today. So we are very excited to announce that our new feature, Issuu Visual Stories, has been officially launched and is a piece of our larger feature, Issuu Story Cloud. So today you'll learn how to tap into the power of the Issuu Story Cloud, which is a suite of integrated digital publishing products to help you create content once and then share everywhere. So this is Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, or anywhere else that your audience is. So Issuu is about creating one time and sharing everywhere, but recently the where has changed and is why we built Issuu Story Cloud. We know the where has changed. First it went from print sources like brochures, flyers, magazines, and newspapers, then emails, websites, and blogs as to access primarily on desktop. But now we're starting to see a new shift for readers. So that people are accessing their content primarily from their mobile phones. So because of this, publishers need to ensure their content is easy to read and looks great on mobile, and then also very important that it's shareable. This is extremely important in today's digital landscape as readers are shifting more and more to consuming content over their phones and away from traditional desktop reading experiences like we've been seeing in the past. Because of this, creating mobile-friendly content is not only going to make your content easier to access and read for your audience, but it's also going to make your content more shareable. So leveraging your existing audience's network to share your content, drive more reads, and grow your audience is extremely important. And Issuu Story Cloud will help you as the publisher easily expand your content into increasingly more mobile world. So we'll be covering a few different ways you can use the Issuu to create mobile-friendly content in a streamlined, easy-use platform. And that's our Issuu Story Cloud. So first we'll walk through the article story tool, which will allow you to highlight specific articles and content you can share across social media in a more targeted way. And these can be created directly from the Issuu dashboard in as little as just a few minutes. The next thing that we'll cover is just taking your visual story that you just created and then demonstrate how to create, share, and optimize your content for distributing stories across social media. So again, Instagram, stories on Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and anywhere else you want that to be displayed. And then we'll cover our new Adobe InDesign story extension. So this extension was just released and allows you to create dynamic visual content from your publications directly within Adobe InDesign. So if you're using that platform, you can actually just plug that right in and then begin working on stories right from Adobe InDesign. So finally, we're excited to announce that every story created on Issuu can be delivered in the accelerated mobile pages. That's the AMP format for Google indexing. So because of this, no engineering resources are needed. You also don't need to write or have any sort of coding experience. What this has done is solve the complicated AMP project integration process now, in which just a click of a button, your Issuu story can be delivered in Google AMP technology. So this means not only your content will be available to find on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, but for the first time, these social posts can now be indexed and show up in search results for relevant Google searches. This allows your content to be found by readers outside of your current audience, which is really amazing. So now we'll jump into the tool, starting with article stories. And again, what this is going to do is allow you as the publisher to create shareable content from your existing publications on Issuu. And this is a great way to promote upcoming releases, increase your publication's visibility across social media, and then also just drive traffic back to your publication as a whole.
All right, thanks, Craig. So today we'll be going over creating article stories first. Article stories can be created on your desktop via your publisher homepage. So just to start out, we're going to work from publications that I've already uploaded onto my account. I'm going to select one of these publications and enhance the publication by going over on the left-hand side to the Stories button to create new stories. So article stories, again, are the kind of text HTML5 optimized version of stories, which are really easy to create. All you have to do is take the PDF or file that you've uploaded onto issuu.com and select a page range from that publication. So I'm going to take this page range here, and you add in the title as well as a short description and category, which helps us index and tag the content. So and then this delicious. So I'm just going to add in a couple phrases and then go ahead and tag this as a food and drink publication and a food and drink story. From there, once you press the next button, you'll be taken into the article story editor tool, which will automatically be able to detect the segments from your publication and optimize it for the mobile reading experience. So you can do this by either clicking Add All Detected Segments at the top here with the lightning bolt. It's going to detect all of the images as well as all of the text from your original piece and automatically bring it into the mobile view. You can also preview what that looks like over here simply by clicking the eyeball icon. And once it looks to your liking, I might just make a couple light edits. So the way that I do this is by either clicking on the individual text pages, just doing a little bit of light cleanup and changing items as I see fit. So it looks like I'll just change this here. We can also change the text styles to a few different text styles that we have available. So paragraph is the default style, of course, and then we also have headlines, subtitles, quotes, as well as byline attributions that you can use to tag your content. So I'm going to delete this one and create this into a byline. You can also, as you're editing your publication, if you want to switch it up, you can also simply click to remove, either using the delete keys or by clicking on the items in the story itself. So Craig also, I believe, does in-depth demos of creating article stories that happen on, I think, Wednesdays, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so we do story workshops every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. So if anyone does want to join that, you and click in the dashboard, there's actually a place to join and sign up for that. So yeah, every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Let's see. So I'm just going to make a couple light edits, and I'm doing this by splitting the text using the Enter key, or you can use the split tool, and just going to kind of clean it up a little bit. Gonna go a little quick so we can get to the good stuff. But once I think it's all to my liking, I'm just gonna press publish. Before you publish the article story live, you'll be able to see a preview version again on a mobile device. So this is what it's going to look like if someone opens the links on mobile. If I click publish now, I can show you kind of the differences. So if someone is clicking on the link that we provide here and they're opening it from their mobile device, they'll see this mobile optimized view as opposed to kind of the original PDF where you have the kind of pinch in, pinch out experience. If I go ahead and paste that link into my desktop reader, however, it's going to take me directly to the page that my story started on and show you as well this lower navigation of other stories I've also created in the past. So stories tool as well as article tools are really flexible way to highlight your materials as well as show them in kind of the best context and reader experience that you are trying to highlight your content in. So that is article stories. And from here, I'm going to switch back over to my mobile device and go over visual stories. So currently, visual stories are available through the app. When you download the app, if you have any publications or stories published, you're able to see this create a visual story at the top here. And I'm going to click on the create visual stories here. And here you can see I can choose either from the stories I've created in the past. So we see the article story that I've already created, or you can choose from your publications that are public publications. So just to quickly show you what the publications look like here, I can simply choose a page range from my publication and go ahead and create the story styles. For this presentation, I'm just going to be going over creating from that story I just made. So again, I'm going to tap on the story to select it. And from there, we are given two different story styles that you can choose from. So right now, we have two templates that you can work off of. More to come in the future, stay tuned. But these two styles are a little different and have kind of different use cases, I would say. So the first one is voice style. By tapping on the image, I'll see it's going to generate a video preview by automatically pulling all of the content from my story as well as the images from my story and generate a video. So the visual story styles, again, are voice and inspire. So this is the voice style, which is going to pull kind of all of the images from your publication and is really focused on adding a lot of text and pull quotes. So I might not necessarily use this style for the recipe example that I'm using today, but in other contexts, when you're creating visual stories, there are a lot of opportunities to create visual stories from magazine or editorial content or even presentation work if you want to kind of jazz up your presentations to be optimized for the mobile experience. So the second style, which is by clicking the select button, is the inspire style. So here you can see in the workspace, we have a combination of slides, and you can see what is going to be on each page, as well as the text that's automatically pulled in. I can edit the photos as well as make changes to the title or the publication names. So if I want to kind of change the style of the text, we have a few different font styles currently available to better reflect the style of your publication. And then I can also make light edits in the text editor. So let's say I want to save this content for a different page. I'm just going to cut it and instead add different text in here. So really you can add anything. The nicest part of visual stories is that you can also just pull directly from the text of your publication. But if you want to change it up, you can also add, I love tomatoes, for example. Great copy, not necessarily a copywriter. You can also change images by Xing out of the image and then using the plus sign. This is going to pull the images from your original publication as well as images from my camera roll. So I'm just going to switch it up by replacing it with one of these photos, and now continue to go through, review what I've created, maybe change a couple more photos here and there as I see fit. And then I can finally do some quick previews as well of what this is going to look like. So you can preview each individual slide by pressing the play button at the bottom. It's going to automatically show you the styles for whichever style you're using. So in Inspire, we really focus on one image, have kind of light panning effects, as well as text that appears and animates with some light vignettes as well. Finally, we have kind of the last page, which has a call to action and pulls images again from your original publication. So here we can see the images that it's pulled as well as the cover image, and then it adds that call to action on where you can go ahead and read the full story. From there, I'm just going to press the preview button at the top, and it's going to generate a video of all of the slides together, or all of the video clips together, so I can just make sure that it looks prime and ready to go for all of my social sharing needs. So once that's looking good, I'm going to push the share button here at the bottom, and it's going to start creating my story and making it downloadable for your social sharing needs. So once the story is ready to share, you'll be able to either share the first page over to Instagram automatically, save all the videos to your camera roll, or go ahead and publish that onto the AMP technology again to optimize for Google AMP and search optimization, which will index your content as well. So I'll quickly just show you. Here we've just gone straight over to Instagram, where if you have over 10K followers, you can also link out any of your content. Or you can create a Google AMP link. So the Google AMP links are a way to generate your search optimized content. These links are also just pretty simple sharing links that will have all the video clips. And I can show you guys while this one begins to upload where those links are available and live on your Issuu account. So back on your desktop in your publisher homepage, we'll have both the article stories that you've created before. So as this loads, you can see all of your article stories, which you can share, or your visual story AMP links. So here I can go into my visual story dashboard and see my visual story. And from there, I can copy that AMP link again, and I'll open it up, paste it here, and we can show you what the AMP experience looks like. So it may still be uploading, so let me just go ahead and look through some of my favorite visual stories that we've been working on.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump in real quick because we got a question I can just answer right now. Someone asked if this is only available through the app. So for the visual stories, that is right now available through the app, but we do have another way to do that through InDesign, which Megan will jump into a second. And then the article stories, that can be done directly through your Issuu dashboard on your computer.
Let's see. So I think because my battery is dying, my internet is also a little slow. So I'll grab a charger after I can share through just this last page, which I think is really nice feature of AMP optimized stories. So if you have your visual story live link, once you have created that visual story, it also links out to your original publication. So you can then see the original publication and get additional reads for that visual story. And it looks like my visual story link now on desktop is also live, so I can copy that and share it however I want, or I can view it live on my mobile device. So let's get this loaded up. So here, this visual story is now hosted as an AMP visual story on Google, as well as like your general browser experience. So these AMP stories use all of the text from your original article story, as well as the images and some smart thinking to index the content on Google, as well as prioritize it for search optimization. So again, once you've gone through that full AMP story experience, you can share it out however you want, or you can read more stories on Issuu. And I can click through here and it's going to take me again to my original publication piece, my original mobile story, or I can, as I go through this article and check out kind of the full article in all of its glory, I can also see where it's originally coming from, which is again the kind of PDF version of the experience. So that is the visual stories experience for the Inspire style, and I'll just quickly go over the voice style as well, just to show you kind of what that interface looks like. So again, we have the ability to edit the font sizes, the font text styles rather, sorry, as well as change images out either to any images that are on your original story or from your camera roll. So you can replace it with photos of your friends if you want, or any other photos you might have on your camera roll. And from there, once you can preview how it all turns out, you can see here with voice, it kind of has 3 images or however many images you add into the template with some animation, and they just kind of burst into the frame to add a lot of interesting poppy style, I would say. And again, you can share and post these to AMP as well. So those are the mobile and desktop experiences for article and visual stories. And next I can go on into the InDesign experience. Let's see. So the InDesign experience is a little different from what we've just covered because it's working directly from your files. So this is really specifically that create once and share everywhere experience. You can download the InDesign extension for free in the Adobe Extensions locations. So I can show you guys where that is actually. I'm just going to Google it. Adobe Exchange. So if you go over to the Adobe Exchange, you can go to Creative Cloud and looking for extensions. If you search the marketplace for Issuu, ISSUU, well, the Issuu Stories extension is the only one that is live and available right now. So you can download this and add it to your InDesign program. So from InDesign, now that I've already downloaded it, so now that I have it, I have all of my spreads from my test publication with some really beautiful lorem ipsum. I am able to first go to File, and then Create Story for Social will be added onto your drop-down options in the File menu. And here I can select the story style again, the visual story style. So I will click Select here. And this is similar to working from your publication, where you can choose a range of pages from your original spreads in InDesign. So I'm just going to select handful of spreads and click on Create Story here. And what the extension is now doing in the background is automatically pulling the content from your original spreads, the images, as well as the text from the spreads. You just have to add in the story title, publication name, as well as the publisher name. And from there, you're able to preview what the full voice style preview looks like. So this is pulling, again, the text in from my test publication, as well as the images from my test catalog. Once it looks like it's all loaded up and ready to go, I'm going to click on the Edit and Share button here. And this is going to take me back to the web browser experience, where I can link it to export and link it to my Issuu account. So once you've reached this step, we're no longer on InDesign. We're back in the Issuu Publisher Home experience, where I can make edits to my story, to my visual story, using both the assets that we've exported out, as well as preview the text that we've automatically pulled. So the text from this story is what we use to help index and optimize your content for social, as well as for Google AMP. Here I can make edits to the title, fuller title, or I can change the images out simply by clicking and dragging to replace the images. So say I want that image instead of this one, I'll switch it up. You can also change the copy. Or I can switch any other images that I want to switch out. And then I can preview that right here in the preview, and it's automatically going to make those updates from desktop. So once that is all ready to go, we'll be able to click on the Create Story button. So it's again going to preview, start to automatically assemble the AMP optimized link, and give you the opportunity to add additional description or metadata tags. And it looks like I am at 3% battery, so I'm going to quickly run to a charger. But I think Craig can share a little bit more info on the InDesign extension versus the mobile experience.
Sure, yeah. So what's really great about this is you can basically just go directly from your InDesign and just start creating stories to promote your publication. So you can do this for a lot of reasons. If you're just wanting to promote something that's maybe not totally ready to be published yet, but you do have a lot of content that you're ready to share and sort of create teasers, this is a great option for that. It also just allows you to create stories from one place, so you don't have to jump around. You can just go from right here and just begin creating assets that you can share out across your social.
So here we can see that it's all done and ready to go, and I can again save the link, copy that AMP link, and now I'll just open it on desktop so everyone can see what the AMP story from InDesign looks like.
And Megan, there were some questions just about AMP. Could you go in a little bit about why creating AMPs are so important?
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest benefit for AMP optimized stories is going to be search optimization. So we combine the text from your publication and your story, as well as the images, and share that with Google to help bring you your mobile optimized stories higher up in the search results on Google. So say you have travel content for Google, or you have travel content from your publication. Once you've created these stories, as well as these visual stories, they're going to have a higher lift in the search results, because Google is really optimizing their own news content for mobile reading as well. So Google AMP is basically the news publisher version of Google mobile experience, and they're making a lot of moves forward and pushes forward to increase a lot of their traffic for mobile devices. So I know on Android devices right now, if you are searching any certain content, you'll see AMP optimized stories kind of at the top of your search. And these stories will also then link out to your original publication. So I think that's what makes it really cool and really useful for linking. You can also, with these AMP links, where kind of the way we all think about and are familiar with stories from the Snapchat and Instagram age of lasting for 24 hours before you have to kind of add it to your highlights or anything like that, these AMP links are just going to exist forever. So you don't have to recreate any work or duplicative work from your publications, because you can easily access all of your AMP links from your publisher homepage. And again, I'll just like click through, oops, that's my bad. Click through and it'll take you back over to the editor pages as well. Hope that answered some of the questions. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah. So someone asked where they just download the extension. Can you just show where to access that from InDesign again?
Yes. So once you download the extension from the Adobe Exchange, it is going to be, you might have to like close and reopen InDesign if you had it already opened, but it'll be in the file, and then down here, create story for social. So once you have it downloaded, the create story for social kind of phrase is going to show up in the corner, and you can select the story styles and work directly from your application.
Perfect. You know, and then so another question that came in, someone was curious if they're selling their publication, they wanted to know if the stories have to be a part of the preview, the free preview section, in order to make them article stories, or if there's another way to do that.
Right. So let's see, I don't have any digital sales publications on my own account, but I can answer this. You can create stories and article stories from paywalled content. Oops, let me add. So for example, I think with Sweet Paul magazine, essentially you can work from either the featured content or any of the content that's paywalled. If you use the electric bolt to add all the images in, actually let me switch, sorry if this is a little confusing. I'll switch into my article stories to just show what that looks like. Create a new story. So say I'm choosing from a range of pages. Example. If I use the lightning bolt button here at the top, it's going to pull in all of the images, including any images that might be kind of hidden by your paywall content. So you can then go in and kind of delete any blurred images and optimize it for mobile. This would then, you would be able to serve for a reader preview version in mobile devices, but if they are opening those links on desktop, they're still going to get the paywalled pages. So you can really control with the story editor tool how much you want to show or hide from those previews, and then those can also be used to work from your publication to create the visual stories.
Awesome. And then so we had another question. Are these stories available with all memberships on Issuu?
Yes. So all of these tools and extensions and stories content is available on all plans. Just want cool stuff available to our publishers.
Perfect. Well, let's see. I'm just looking through here to see if there's any more questions that maybe we missed. Let me see. So someone asked, are there going to be more templates available for visual stories?
Yes, there will be more templates, and I think we'll also be getting feedback from folks who are creating visual stories. Love to hear back what kinds of templates we'd like to see in the future as well.
Right. And then, so just one of the last questions that came, is there contact info for you too? You guys can actually reach out if you have any questions to support@issuu.com. That's our contact for any sort of support questions that you have with this. We do have people available most of the time, so they should be able to get back to you fairly quickly. But if you do have any questions, you can always reach out to me directly. I'm on the customer success team here at Issuu, so you can reach out to me at cki@issuu.com. You can also show up for our weekly webinars where it's more of a workshop, and we help people actually build their stories in real time, and that's our Let's Build a Story webinar. And you can actually find that on the Issuu dashboard. So Megan, can you actually just go to so if you click on there and register, you can sign up and we can walk you through the whole process and answer any questions for you in real time. So we can build along with you. And sometimes that just kind of prompts questions that you wouldn't have if you weren't working in it with us. Perfect. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything that we're going to go over today. I just want to thank Megan for walking us through everything and everyone for taking time to join with us. Again, if there's any questions that you do have that maybe come up later, you can always just submit questions to support@issuu.com, and also that weekly webinar that we just mentioned. Everyone go out there and create stories and share them. We also have an Apple News channel I want to quickly plug. So we have a partnership with them. So any stories that you do create on Issuu and post to social media, if you use the hashtag Issuu Stories, our marketing team is constantly on the lookout for new and exciting stories that they can promote to our Apple News channel. And that's what Megan's showing you right now. So it's just a great opportunity for you to get your content out there in front of maybe a new audience that hasn't seen your content before, and then just drive traffic back to those publications. Well, awesome, mate. Thank you everybody so much for joining. Have a good day, and please, again, submit any other questions that maybe come up.